much for slumming with us over here. We'll do our best to clean up our act and moving forward, and do our best to grow every single day with our little show. So with that said, I sent this to Melanie here. Sent this to Melanie, and I said, look, I know he's your boy, but your boy's a dick and has no class. I'd rather you hear it from me directly than hearing it from other people, right? Now, I sent this to her Wednesday, April 15th, right there. She responded, I guess that night, says, I think you're taking this way too personally. It ain't that deep. There we go. So you guys can see a little better. You're talking about my livelihood. It's that deep. He may be your boy, but he's a fraud. Look at his shorts and tell me that's even remotely okay. Once again, I'm being very upfront with her about this, right? And this is why Jeremy's mad, is because I will tell her that just like I would tell him that, just like I'm telling you guys that. Right? It's very simple. It's Trinity to dogpile the quartering right now, so you're doing it and being dramatic for no reason. He wasn't hating on your show. I don't know. You guys tell me. Was he hating on side scrollers? Because I don't know. He was just speaking highly of me because he's my friend. Also, what are you trying to accomplish DMing me this exactly? I'm not going to turn on my friend. I said, I'm not asking you to, and it's not trendy. It's about time. I sent it to you so you'd hear it directly from me instead of hearsay. And if you want to know my full thoughts, you can watch an entire video, which I included a link to this video here for reference. This is the quartering is a fraud video right here. So I included that link so she could watch it. Said, I have no beef with you, Mel. You've always been a friend, which is exactly why I reached out to you personally, out of respect. And not speaking poorly about our show. Did you watch the clip, Mel? You may be blinded by your friendship in that case. She said, I watched the clip, and all he said was that I should be on big shows. He said he didn't watch side scrollers, so he wasn't bashing it. Okay. He just wanted me to be on the big shows, be on big shows. He even said if I denied his show to go on a bigger show, he would understand and take no offense. So why are you taking offense? I don't know, chat. Am I the a-hole here? Like, is this my fault? Am I the guy here? All right. He said, Jeremy's actually been friends of mine and stuck his neck out for me on multiple occasions. You can't even mention me. You can't even mention me on your show without having to throw some huge disclaimer ahead of time. And when I was dogpiled over Goonergate, you had people on your show who were viciously attacking me in Razor Fist at the time, right in the middle of all of it. And I said, Mel, we dwarf his show in viewership. We take out the Rumble front page promotion and bots, and his show is nothing compared to ours. He's being propped up. He's been propped up. Good for him. It's all fake. It's not his place to talk about small shows, especially when his is and has been smaller than ours. He comes off as arrogant and gatekeeping. That's not me saying it. That's everyone who's watched the clip saying it. And she said, okay, so you're making it a peeing contest now. At the time of him saying that your show hadn't grown that much, but like I said, he just thought highly enough of me to say I should be on big shows, and he would understand if I wanted to be on a show bigger than his. It wasn't personal. Side Scroll is doing great, and I want y'all to keep doing great. It's been 2 years since he said that. After all, I said, Mel. He literally made it a peeing contest. She said, you don't have to like him. Nobody has to like anybody. But I don't know what you're trying to accomplish by gossiping to me about it. You're mad over a 2-year-old clip. If I wanted to be mad at you over something, I could. If I wanted to be mad at you, I could over how you had smashed JT on your show in the middle of him dogpiling me in Razor Fist. Or sorry, Smash, I know you're watching. Here's some content for you, buddy. Or how when you made a video about my husband, but you wouldn't even mention me without a disclaimer first. Oh, this is when her husband was getting dogpiled in the cosplay community. But you know what? I didn't make a big deal out of it. Yet, here you are being dramatic over a 2-year-old clip that wasn't that deep. I said, with all due respect, Mel, you're too close to the situation. Nothing about this is a good look for him. The threats, the emails, the arrogance, the shorts. It's not even including I'm not even including the flagging me because I don't know if he did that or not. Does that sound like I'm accusing him of anything? I don't know. which once again is why I reached out to you as a friend to tell you my thoughts about your friends so you don't get it twisted. Well, Mel, when it's about my livelihood, the way I make a living, it's that deep. It will always be deep. In regards to a disclaimer, I saw that pretty much. I saw that pretty much anyone that's been on in any. I guess I say that pretty much anyone who's been in a controversy of late. It's not a you thing at all. Now I'll say to you, it's not that deep. You have Smash JT on your show. I don't want to hear it with you suddenly caring about people's character, because clearly that's not the case. I says we have Smash as a guest on the show. I don't know or recall any beef between you two, and honestly, it's not my job to know about people's beef. I don't agree with everyone on our show, and I don't care who has beefs with who. I'm not the internet's janitor. By the way, said this publicly many, many times. Right here. Here we are. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Smash, catching strays. A 2-year-old clip where he doesn't even bash the show does not affect your livelihood. Says you don't recall any beef. And by the way, I don't. Like the whole Goonergate thing she's going to bring up here. Like, look, that was just kind of one of those things that happened. I've done over 700 and something side scrollers at this point, right? I don't remember everything we talk about. I don't. Sorry. You don't recall any beef? Seriously? He started Goonergate and dogpiled me and Razor Fist relentlessly, and you knew about that. We talked about that. I said, you're right, but you're right. It shouldn't, but it does. Don't recall any beef. I said, honestly, I stayed out of all that Gooner stuff. As I said, I have people who I agree with and don't agree with that are on my show, and friends who I don't agree with on everything. She said, Razor, and by the way, sorry, Razor, sorry you got to get lumped into this. Razor and I were both regularly on your show, and helped a lot in the early days. Then in the middle of a gigantic dog pile that Smash started, you have him on. That was not in good taste. I said, it is what it is. And this is in response to, it is what it is. I think this was me continuing this right here. And then in response to that, I said, yeah, but we're grateful for you guys believing in our show. We always will be. I don't recall the show. We've done over 700, but there's 100% no malice intended ever. Mel, once again, I think a lot of you always have. That's why I reached out, not to drive a wedge, but to be honest and transparent with you. He is your friend. I think he's, well, whatever. This is one thing that we, as friends, will just have to disagree on. I'm sorry if you took offense to bringing Smash on. It certainly wasn't meant to be disrespectful to you or Razor. I apologize and hope we can move past this. She said, talking bad. And by the way, this is a lesson that I think a lot of people can hear, right? When in a friendship situation, right? And once again, I have no beef with Mel, right? I want to keep things cordial. I reached out to her professionally. Sometimes it's okay just to say, look, sorry. It's okay. Sorry you're offended. Sorry that happened, right? It is, and that's it. She said, talking bad about my loyal friend in this space just isn't good taste when you've not shown even a fraction of loyalty. Now, I just would like to point out that Mel did immediately jump from our show as soon as she had a better offer. Once again, I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. But I just, there's a little bit of irony there. That's all. I hold no ill feelings. That stuff did bother me, but I didn't make it a huge deal out of it. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't owe me anything, so it's okay. I'm not holding it against you, and I still wish all the best for you in the show. I just can't accept you bashing Jeremy to me when he has always had my back and is a great friend. I don't want any part of this beef you have with him. If I were in the comments giving you grief, by the way, I think we're almost done, hopefully. If I were in the comments giving you grief, I'd understand you wanted to talk to me about it, but I'm not doing that. Well, I hope that friendship remains and is true. And I mean this with zero disrespect and malice at all. Doesn't end with you not. This is what I hope that friendship, speaking of her and Jeremy, remains and is true. And I mean this with zero disrespect or malice at all. Doesn't end when you're no longer on his payroll or of use to him. I said, see you, Mel. And these were the posts that he later deleted, where he was like kind of spurging out of things. And I said, please tell me this. And this was, I'd closed the conversation, opened up X, and then immediately, like 3 minutes later, got this right here. So Retro Gamer says, Craig types like a second grader. Listen, I don't know. All right. All right. So please tell me this doesn't have to do with me, Mel. Specifically, you literally use the phrase turn on. Okay, so these were the tweets that he later deleted saying, hey, he was going off and he talked about how I have I've seen the DMs. And he used the phrase, if you think my friends are going to turn on me, which she used previously, I'm not going to turn on Jeremy, right? Okay, so he drunk deleted those. That's fine. She said, be for real. I mean this with no malice. Then you make the most petty comment ever, like I'm only his friend for some money. By the way, that once again, that's not how I can see how that came off that way, but that's not how I intended it, right? I was legitimately saying like, you're in his corner because he's paying you, and I get that, right? But when he's no longer paying you, I hope you still have that connection, right? I don't know everyone's relationships. It's not my job to know everyone's relationships. I'm not the internet's janitor. I'm not the internet's, relationship counselor. That's not me. I don't care. Anyways, I've been friends with him for a very long time. I don't go on his show because I need the paycheck. My husband and I are financially set for life. I never have to work another day. I just enjoy what I do. I still enjoy making money because who doesn't? But don't imply that that I'm Jeremy's friend because he pays me. It's unbelievably catty of you. Don't pretend like you said that in good faith. And then I said, I say that based on experience he's had with previous hosts, specifically Sydney Watson, which I'm going based solely off the track record here. Says, and there was no malice in it all. She said, I'm not Sydney Watson. You just insulted my credibility with your statement. Okay. Mel, I go back to the original point of this. I reached out to you out of respect. That's it. Okay. Can we drop it then? This is not productive. I don't like any of this. And I said, what about this? You're leaking DMs to him? Is that what this is about? She said, I've had multiple people in my DMs about him, as has Hannah Claire. And we have been telling him that was the case. If people were DMing me, bashing you, I'd be telling you, hey, people are in my DMs bashing you. Just as I'm sure you and Blabs would to each other. I said, except I wasn't bashing him and I wasn't trying to get you to turn on him. We can 100% drop it. I don't want drama with you privately or publicly. That was literally the intention of me reaching out privately. I said, night, Mel. And this is where it ends. It says, his tweet was about people harassing us. You've not harassed me, so it doesn't apply to you. Don't worry about it. I'm not mad. I just don't want to be tied up in this. Hope you have a good night. And that's where it ended. So apparently tomorrow he's going to expose all the DMs that I've sent. So there you go. That's literally it.